Hello, welcome to HITC Sport. Right, there's been a lot of nonsense peddled in 2020. I'm going to take a look at every Premier League club and find one player in your team who is just linked with the most unbelievable, ridiculous transfer this year. Just utter nonsense. Right, let's go. Arsenal Hector Bellerin. Yes, he might have the fashion sense of a colourblind sheep, but Hector Bellerin was once a top-class right back. Then these links to Barcelona might have made a bit of sense, but now he's in the worst form of his life. Injuries have robbed him of his pace. He hasn't been good since 2016, and now his confidence is so far down the toilet that he can't even take a throw-in anymore. You can go down your local park and watch an under-9s game of football, someone whose favourite player is Bulbasaur, and they'll be able to take a better throw-in than him. Actually, probably best not to watch children in the park. I thought Barcelona were trying to move away from comical defending. After seeing Nelson Semedo shuffle through a Champions League quarter-final as if he was a drunken dad attempting a recital of Swan Lake, I'm sorry, but sticking the wobbly, error-prone Hector Bellerin into your defence, a guy who probably spends his afternoons daydreaming about ponies and shoes. Oh, it's about as risky as opening a DM from Chu Jordy in a public bus. Aston Villa, Tyrone Mings, Man United.
Aston Villa secure future of defender linked to Man United this summer.
Yeah, this year we've seen Manchester United repeatedly linked with a big money move for Tyrone Mings. Everywhere you look. Can you imagine how this would have gone down with the fans? Yes, he's a decent centre back, but when he was playing for Bournemouth, he actually stamped on Zlatan Ibrahimovic's head, was handed a 5-match ban and immediately tweeted out lol. So, considering Manchester United fans were appealing for this guy to be locked up, do they really want to have a centre-back partnership based on their ability to escape prison? Right, so clearly this is how we do journalism now. Let's invent the biggest, fattest rumour. A rumour so big it keeps its t-shirt on while it makes love to its wife. Right then. Well, then I guess Kieran Carlin likes to read Roald Dahl books on the toilet whilst being pleasured by his pet goldfish. How's that for a big fat rumour? Brighton, Tariq Lamptey, Bayern Munich.
Tariq Lamptey, Bayern Munich interested in Brighton youngster.
Okay, this is getting ridiculous now. Yes, Tariq Lamptey is a talented right-wing back, but he is a £4 million signing for Brighton and Hove Albion. Do you really think anyone at Bayern Munich even know that this club exists? Burnley, Dwight McNeil, Juventus.
Dwight McNeil wanted by Juventus' Andrea Pirlo plots a squad rebuild.
Really? Do they really want him? Do you reckon Andrea Pirlo, a world champion, is a type of guy to scan the squad of Burnley for players? That's a bit like Kim Kardashian rifling through the bins outside Subway for her lunch. Yes, McNeil is a talent, but it's easy to look good on a Burnley team who just base their game on prehistoric tactics with an elbow-swinging gargoyle like Ashley Barnes up front. This is a fellow who was let go by a club who's given Jesse Lingard over 200 games of football. Is he really all that good? Juventus just sold 1 million shirts with Ronaldo's name on the back. What Juventus fan is going to want a shirt with McNeil on the back? If they opened that on Christmas Day, they'd probably burn down the tree in rage. Paying for an expensive Juventus season ticket to watch Ronaldo play alongside Dwight McNeil? It'd be like forking out big money for a front row ticket to see Eminem spend 3 hours rapping alongside that glassed out kid with that PSG shirt. Just vastly unbalanced levels of quality. Chelsea, Kai Havertz, Newcastle. We live in a world where Newcastle spent the summer struggling to convince Matty Longstaff to stay, while simultaneously apparently being in the hunt for Kai Havertz from Bayer Leverkusen. Yes, thanks to that takeover saga, that club are actually linked with the move for this £75 million playmaker. Listen, even if the takeover had happened, why would a promising talent like Havertz forego European football with Chelsea and to live in swanky West London to instead just sit in the midfield with John Joe Shelby and Sean Longstaff and live on the coast of Whitley Bay? It's like being offered a juicy 5-star steak, but instead choosing to just eat a bag of Thugdad's false teeth. Don't deny it, Thugdad, we know they're fake. Crystal Palace, Christian Benteke, Tottenham.
Jose Mourinho greenlights Christian Benteke transfer as Tottenham get desperate.
Where are the press getting these stories from? I refuse to believe that Jose Mourinho, one of the brightest and most tactically aware managers on the planet, wanted to sign Christian Benteke for Spurs. Yes, Mourinho called Benteke a special player once upon a time, but that was in 2013. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want him anymore. For years he's just been a busted fridge, with just 5 goals in over 70 games before this season. Benteke to Tottenham, are we living in a time warp? Yes, he might have called him special in 2013, but that's like proposing to someone on the internet because they complimented your shoes in 2013. Everton, Michael Keane, Barcelona.
Barcelona boss Ronald Koeman plots shock transfer swoop for Everton's Michael Keane as replacement for Gerard Piqué.
If you take the story at face value, it's just a story of a football team replacing one Manchester United reject with another. Fine, that would make sense if it was someone like Ryan Shawcross replacing Tyler Blackett. But Gerard Piqué, a world champion, being replaced at Barcelona by Michael Keane? Listen, I get that 8-2 humbling against Bayern Munich in the Champions League must have scrambled the circuits in their brain. And I get it, it's like a trauma. It's like being dumped by your wife of 30 years. But honestly, this story came 5 days after that Champions League game. And I get it, after a financially crippling divorce, that'll be around the time you'd start asking your cousin for a date. But still, imagine Messi returning for pre-season training and being greeted with the sight of this face. Never mind quitting the club. That would probably be enough to make him walk in front of a moving bus. Fulham, Andre Frank, Zamba and Grisa, Real Madrid.
Real Madrid linked to shock move for Andre Frank, Zamba and Grisa.
Really? Really? Yes, okay, Andre Frank Zamba Anguissa has done well for Fulham this season, but are we forgetting he was also amongst the relegated dross in 2018 before deciding to just skip the championship season with a loan move to Villarreal. And that is apparently enough to make Real Madrid, the biggest club on planet Earth, sniff around his signature. Whoever circulated this rumour, are you also the same person who thinks the Earth is flat?
Here's why Real Madrid want to sign Andre Zamba Anguissa.
No, they don't. I refuse to believe this. The day Zinedine Zidane enviously eyes up something that Scott Parker has, it's like Justin Bieber being jealous of a homeless man's Christmas presents. Leeds, Rodrigo, Arsenal.
Arsenal, a £50 million transfer for Valencia striker Rodrigo Moreno as Aubameyang replacement.
There are so many things wrong with this headline. The fact this even suggests that Arsenal were even contemplating letting Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to leave in the summer and replacing him with Rodrigo from Valencia. Honestly, if this deal had happened and Arsenal made this guy the third most expensive player in the history of their club, I don't even want to imagine the unspeakable things Arsenal fans would do. Leicester, Hamza Choudhury, Newcastle.
Leicester star linked with shock transfer to Newcastle United.
Yeah, going all the way back to January 19th this year, and just a stupid rumour by someone who did absolutely no research. Just 3 weeks earlier, Hamza Choudhury was belting in a long-range effort at St James's Park and was booed off the pitch. Are we forgetting 6 months earlier, Steve Bruce was claiming that Choudhury's tackle nearly ended Matt Ritchie's career? So bringing Choudhury into a dressing room that already hated him, to work under a manager who's openly criticised him in public, and to play for a fan base that recently booed him off the pitch? I'm sorry, you'd sooner see Miley Cyrus become a nun. Liverpool, Gini Wijnaldum, Barcelona. Yep, all summer long we've seen Gini Wijnaldum given an apparent tough choice, Barcelona or Liverpool.
Oh, how is he going to choose?
Very easily. Yes, I realise he's a good relationship with Ronald Koeman with the Dutch team, but surely he has an even better one with Jurgen Klopp. Liverpool are one of the most stable top clubs in Europe right now, embarking on potentially the best era in this club's history. Barcelona, by contrast, are a complete circus act right now, a shadow of what they once were. Man City, Kyle Walker, Inter Milan.
Kyle Walker targeted by Inter Milan. Inter Milan launched transfer chase for Man City's Kyle Walker and hope fresh start will tempt England start Italy.
Listen, Inter Milan's transfer policy is weird. It's just batshit insane. Antonio Conte seems to be making it a personal mission of just collecting underwhelming former Premier League fullbacks like Ashley Young, Alexander Kolarov and Matteo Darmian. But are we surprised? At Stamford Bridge, he made it his mission to turn former Stoke and Sunderland flops into title-winning fullbacks. For Conte, it just seems to be a weird personal fetish of his. I mean, that's fine. Mine involves jamming my balls in a pencil case whilst watching reruns of That's So Raven. No judgment here. But Kyle Walker, a highly paid 30-year-old first-choice right-back from Man City, choosing to instead move to a European bottle job, a football orphanage for unwanted Premier League stars, just a nonsense idea. Man United, Dean Henderson, Chelsea.
Chelsea to bid £50 million for Manchester United goalkeeper Dean Henderson, with uncertainty surrounding Kepa Arrizabalaга's Chelsea future. I
realise Chelsea were desperate for goalkeepers, but still, raiding Manchester United's bench and for 50 million quid, this would make him the third most expensive goalkeeper of all time after just one Premier League campaign for Sheffield United. Henderson is in line for the throne at Old Trafford. He's been groomed as David De Gea's successor for the past 9 years, so raising him through the youth teams, nurturing his progression, only to sell him before he's even made his debut, it would have made no sense for anyone. Newcastle, Jeff Hendrick, AC Milan.
Jeff Hendrick rejected AC Milan because he believes Newcastle can be a top 10 Premier League club.
I don't even know where to start with this headline. We live in a world where Jeff Hendrick, a midfielder with about as much creativity as a wet bin bag, is actually rejecting European giants AC Milan just because he thinks he can scrape a 10th place finish with Newcastle. This guy is apparently turning down Serie A title races, European football, the San Siro, the chance to play with Zlatan before he retires, all because he wants to strike up a midfield partnership with Sean Longstaff. I might understand if Rafa Benitez was still at the club, but he's not. It's Steve Bruce. Sheffield United, Sander Berg, Arsenal.
Arsenal consider shock Sander Berg transfer from Sheffield United after missing out on midfield star in January.
Really? Does anyone really think this one is going to happen? Anyone? Southampton, Danny Ings, Tottenham.
Tottenham failed with the process to sign Danny Ings from Southampton.
What was the point of this? Any striker linked with Tottenham has clearly just been given a job description of sitting on the bench. And at 28, after missing 3 years of football through injury, how likely was it for Ings, after nearly winning the Golden Boot last season, after forcing his way from the treatment table back into the England squad, how likely was it that he's actually going to agree to sign up for another couple of years of warming the bench? Maybe if he was on a mission to sabotage his own career, but in that case, why not just rip out your own kidneys and feed them to your cat? Tottenham, Harry Kane, Man United.
And United want further encouragement from Harry Kane before submitting bid.
What was the point in this rumour? Harry Kane to Manchester United. You might as well predict Britney Spears to agree to spending her 40s living in Tom Stockdale's basement. West Brom, Grady Diangana at Celtic.
Rangers join Celtic in the race for West Ham winger Grady Diangana.
The way Mark Noble speaks so passionately about Grady Diangana, you'd assume this guy was going to be the next Premier League star. Well, if that was the case, then Why would this 22-year-old winger even contemplate moving to Scotland? I mean, come on. West Ham, Declan Rice, Man United. Yeah, Declan Rice has spent much of the calendar year being linked with the move away from West Ham. Some West Ham fans might blindly try to convince themselves of his loyalty, that he might be determined to have a legacy on par with Mark Noble. But lads, take it from me. Hoping for loyalty from Declan Rice. It's not gonna happen. This guy has the moral compass of a bag of Skittles. Christ, even on the morning of his wedding, they'll probably still be downloading Tinder in the toilet. But do Man United really need another midfielder? They just signed Donny van de Beek for 40 million and they barely even use him. So the Declan Rice rumours, they don't really hold up. Wolves, Adama Traore, Barcelona.
Barcelona pulled out of Adama Traore race, but Wolves winger also eyed by Liverpool and Real Madrid.
Barcelona? The club who sold him to Aston Villa after just one bastard match? Come on. I mean, that's the end of it. Let me know in the comments section below. What do you think was the weirdest transfer rumor you saw all year? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.